Rangers, a shock exit from the Ibrox boardroom, a transfer battle heating up for Hamza Igamane, and Barry Ferguson calling for Rangers to toughen up ahead of a European showdown. Plus, a brand new update on Tom Lawrence's future and a bold prediction from Jose Mourinho about Ibrox that you won't believe. Want to see these and more Rangers news? Stay until the end. Rangers have made a fresh announcement regarding Tom Lawrence, and the timing could not be more intriguing. The Welsh international, who has endured an injury-plagued season, has been named in Wales's squad for the upcoming international fixtures, despite managing just 13 league appearances this campaign. Now, the big question looming over Ibrox: what happens next with Lawrence? His contract is set to expire at the end of the season, and there's still no word on whether Rangers will extend his stay. There's no denying his quality when fit, but that's been the issue when fit. At 31 years old, he doesn't fit into the club's long-term vision of building a younger, dynamic squad. Add to that the financial aspect. Rangers are keeping a close eye on wages as they continue to streamline costs, especially with the takeover discussions in the background. Is it really worth handing a new deal to a player who has struggled to stay available? And then there's the elephant in the room, his call-up to the Wales squad. On the one hand, it's great to see a Rangers player get international recognition, but on the other, is this really what Rangers need right now? A player with a history of injuries heading off on international duty instead of focusing on getting fully fit for the club. Would keeping Tom Lawrence for another year be a wise decision, or should Rangers cut ties and free up space for a younger, more reliable option? The winds of change are sweeping through Ibrox, and this time it's more than just a minor shift. It's a complete transformation at the very top. John Bennett, once a key figure in Rangers' resurgence, has decided to cut all financial ties with the club, selling off his entire 7% stake as the San Francisco 49ers move ever closer to sealing their takeover. Bennett, a man who put tens of millions into Rangers when the club needed it most, is stepping away after health concerns forced him to vacate his chairman role. Now, with the 49ers expected to finalize their purchase of a 51% controlling stake by May, the future of Rangers will be placed firmly in American hands. For some, this represents a golden opportunity. The 49ers, a sporting powerhouse in the NFL, have the financial muscle and business acumen to push Rangers forward, but for others, it raises serious concerns. Football is not American football. The game in Scotland is unique, with its own traditions, rivalries, and challenges that demand deep knowledge of the landscape. The fear is that without the right people guiding them, the new ownership could stumble in the crucial early stages. And that's the real issue here. Who will the 49ers turn to for football expertise? This isn't just about money. To rebuild Rangers as the dominant force in Scotland, they need to make the right backroom appointments. They must bring in football men, people who understand the intricacies of Scottish football, the transfer market, and the demands of competing against a bitter and relentless Celtic. A change in ownership always brings uncertainty. Will the 49ers invest wisely in the squad? Will they ensure Rangers have the firepower to crush domestic competition and compete in Europe? Or will they make the mistake of underestimating the scale of the challenge? Do you trust an ownership group from across the Atlantic with no prior experience in Scottish football to make the right calls and restore Rangers to their rightful place at the top? Or is there a real risk that this takeover, instead of being a blessing, could become a costly miscalculation? Hamza Igamane. Remember the name because this lad is turning heads across Europe. From a relatively unknown talent at ASFR to a rising star at Ibrox, the Moroccan striker has bulldozed his way into Rangers' starting lineup under Philippe Clement. Now, with clubs from the Premier League and beyond circling, the big question is whether Rangers can hold on to their latest attacking gem. Everton, Sevilla, and Olympique Marseille are all sniffing around, and it's no surprise. Igamane has shown he's got the physicality, the hunger, and crucially, the goals to attract serious interest. 9 goals in the league, 4 in the Europa League. It's been a breakthrough season for the 22-year-old, and he's only just getting started. Alex Ray wasn't exaggerating when he called him a monster. Physically, he's a nightmare for defenders, an absolute tank who can only get better. Clubs looking for a striker with power, presence, and potential will see him as an investment. And if they believe his value is only going to rise, Rangers could receive a serious offer. But here's the dilemma. Do you cash in while his stock is high, or do you hold firm knowing he could be worth even more with another season at Ibrox? The recruitment team deserves massive credit for unearthing Igamane, and Rangers are in a strong position. There's no need to sell unless the fee is too good to refuse. And let's be honest, if a big club comes in waving a ridiculous sum of money, it might be impossible to turn down. But are Rangers really in a position to lose a striker with this kind of potential, especially when the team is still being shaped into Clement's vision? Should Rangers sell Igamane if a huge offer comes in, or is this exactly the kind of a player who should be kept at Ibrox to spearhead a title-winning side? Barry Ferguson knows exactly what's at stake. A 2-goal lead is a fine advantage to take into the second leg against Fenerbahce, but against a Jose Mourinho side, it's nowhere near safe. The Special One has built his career on dragging teams through tricky European ties, and his Fenerbahce will come at Rangers with everything they've got. The intensity will be cranked up, the challenges will be harder, and you can bet they'll use every trick in the book to turn the game in their favor. That's why Ferguson is hammering home one key message: Rangers cannot be naive. Being the better footballing side it isn't always enough at this level. You need to be streetwise, tough, and sometimes even a bit cynical. Mourinho's teams are masters of the dark arts, and Ferguson knows Rangers need to match that edge, not be too nice when the moment demands something more ruthless. And then there's Ibrox itself. Ferguson has acknowledged the recent home form hasn't been good enough, but here's the thing, aside from those last 3 losses, Rangers have been dominant in Glasgow. Tottenham, FCSB, Union Saint-Gilloise, and even Celtic have come here and felt the full force of Ibrox. This is no time for self-doubt. The stadium should be a fortress, not a burden. The mentality of this squad is about to be tested like never before. Do they stand firm, match Fenerbahce's aggression, and get the job done, or do they let old habits creep back in, lose composure, and let Mourinho pull off another European heist? Do you believe this Rangers squad has the mental toughness to go toe-to-toe with a Mourinho side and see this tie through, or are there still too many weak links in this team when the pressure is on? Jose Mourinho knows what's coming at Ibrox. He's been around the block too many times to think Rangers will simply sit back and protect their 2-goal lead. But make no mistake, the mind games are in full swing. The Portuguese maestro is talking about mistakes, about Rangers looking to pounce, about whether his side should attack or be patient. This is classic Mourinho, playing out scenarios in the media, planting seeds of doubt, and trying to influence how Rangers approach the game. But Barry Ferguson has already outfoxed him once. That first leg in Istanbul was a tactical masterclass. The switch to a back 3 nullified Edin Dzeko and Youssef En-Nesyri, while Václav Černý and Cyril Dessers ran riot at the other end. Mourinho can talk all he likes about mistakes, but the reality is that Rangers outfought and outthought his expensively assembled side. And now, with Ibrox ready to roar, Mourinho is hoping for one thing: impatience. He wants Rangers to come flying out, to get caught up in the atmosphere, to leave gaps for his side to exploit. That's his best chance. If Ferguson's men stay disciplined, stick to their structure, and keep that same ruthless edge, Fenerbahce will struggle again. But here's the real question: who blinks first? Mourinho's banking on Rangers overcommitting and opening the door for a comeback? Will Ferguson's side stay composed, see the job through, and prove once again that they belong at this level? Or will Rangers fall into the trap, play into Mourinho's hands, and let one of the most cunning managers in football turn the tie around? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.